In today's video, I'm going to discuss with you a very important topic called percentages. Now, this is a topic of commercial maths, which will lay the foundation for other topics like profit and loss chapter or simple interest, compound interest, and even stocks and shares. First of all, we will see the importance of knowing the fractional equivalent of percentages. For example, if I want to convert percentage to fractions, for example, 25%, how do we convert that? So we write 25% as nothing but 25 divided by 100, and that gives me, upon simplification, 1 upon 4. Now you should know that 25% is equivalent to 1 by 4. Sometimes you will see that in calculations, this knowledge that 25% is 1 by 4 is extremely useful. And if I take an example, how do we find out the value of 25% of 64? If you normally do like 25 by 100 into 64, so you will have to multiply 25 by 64 and then divide the answer by 100. But the better way will be to see that 25% is 1/4, and so it becomes 1/4 of 64, and that gives you 16. Likewise, there are many more commonly used percentages and their corresponding fractional equivalents, which I think you all must know. And this is listed here, percentage and corresponding fractional equivalents. So for example, 12.5% is 1/8, 25% is 2/8, which we have seen is finally 1/4, 37.5% is 3/8, and then 50% is half, 62.5% is 5/8, 75% is 3/4, and 87.5% is 7/8. Likewise, there are a couple of more percentage and corresponding fractions, like 33.33% is 1/3. Similarly, 66.66 or 67% is 2/3. 16.67%, which is half of 33.33%, will be obviously half of 1/3, and that means 1/6. 20% likewise you should know is 1/5. 40% is therefore 2/5. 60% is 3/5, and 80% is 4/5. So you should know all these fractions of the percentage figures. Now, if I apply in one question, I see that 16.67% of 96. Now this looks complicated if I don't know the fractional equivalents. But now if I know that 16.67% is 1/6, it becomes 1/6 of 96, which obviously is 16. Now let us see some basic examples of percentages. We'll begin with this question. What percent of 30 is 7.35? How do we go about this? Now, when we have this kind of question, try to see what percent. When we say what percent, we don't know what is this what. So let's say this what is X. So it means the question becomes X percent of 30 is equal to 7.35. And now we do the mathematical calculations. We will get X by 100 into 30 is equal to 7.35. And then we see X is equal to 7.35 into 100 divided by 30 after shifting the terms. So we get finally 24.5%. Now this is a conventional method of thinking and solving this question. We can apply a kind of shortcut to solve this question without any such calculations. If we cursorily look at the options given, they are all hovering around 25% or maybe 30%. So if I pick up with 25%, and we see that 25% of 30 is how much? 25% of 30 is 1/4 of 30, which is 7.5. Means 30, half of 30 is 15, and half of 15 is 7.5. So we get 25% of 30 is 7.5, but we wanted the answer to be 7.35, and that means my answer should be less than 25%, and therefore my correct answer is 24.5%, because less than 25%, we have only one option given amongst the options, and that's A option, 24.5%. Let's see one more example. You can read this first. So there are two students here, Ajay and Bimla. Ajay has got some 40% marks, means 40% of maximum marks, and his marks are 20 marks more than the passing marks. And similarly, Bimla has got 60% of maximum marks, which is 36 more than the passing marks, right? So we have to find out the passing marks in the examination. Now here we have two unknowns. Maximum marks we don't know, and passing marks, of course, we don't know. That's what we have to find out. So let us say maximum marks is X, and also let us say that passing marks is Y. So from the two information points, we can generate two equations. If I go by conventional method, so I will get 0.4x is equal to y plus 20 because it says 20 marks more than the passing marks. Similarly, 0.6x will be y plus 36. And finally, if I solve these equations, I will get, after subtraction, 0.2x is equal to 16. And this gives me the x, which is maximum marks, as 80. Now, don't think 80 is the answer, because 80 is what? X. And what was x? The maximum marks. But my question is not to find maximum marks, it was to find out the passing marks. So after I have got the value of the maximum marks, that is 80, I can put back in the given equation any of the two given equations and hence find the value of y, which is the passing marks. So if I put this value of x in the first equation, I will get y is equal to 0.4x minus 20, and that gives me finally 12. And so we see that 12 is the correct answer. But yes, this is a conventional approach. We also have an alternative approach of solving the same question in which we deal directly with percentages without having to form such kind of equations. So what is that method? Difference in the percentage marks of two students. Now we know that Ajay has got 40% marks and Bimla has got 60% marks. Difference of that is 60% minus 40%. That's 20% of maximum marks. And we also see that since Bimla's marks are 36 more than the passing marks, whereas Ajay's was 20 more than the passing marks. So difference will be same as 36 minus 20, which is 16. It means 20% of maximum marks is 16. Once I get that, I can say Ajay's marks, which is 40% of maximum marks, will be how much? Since I know that 20% of maximum marks is 16, so obviously 40% of maximum marks will be twice of that. That is 2 into 16, that's 32. And hence, without having to find out the value of maximum marks, I could find out Ajay's marks, which is 32. And since in the question it's also given that Ajay's marks is 20 more than the passing marks, so obviously passing marks will be 32 minus 20, and that is 12. It's the same answer as we got in the earlier method. Okay. Let's take one more example. In this, we have some election going on between two candidates, A and B, and A's percentage votes are given. So A has got 65% votes. Obviously, that means B would have got 35% votes. Okay. And A wins the election by 2748 votes. Please understand that this 2748 is not the votes got by A. This is the margin by which A won. It means this is difference of A's votes and B's votes. So how many votes were cast? Let us say A got 65% of X, where X is total number of votes cast. So that is 0.65x. Therefore, B would have got 0.35x. Difference of them is 0.65x minus 0.35x, which is 0.3x, and that's given in the question to me as 2748. So I get this equation and I can solve it now, that x is equal to 2748 divided by 0.3, which is 9160. Again, this is a conventional approach of solving the question. What can be an alternative approach? In this, we realize that difference of A's and B's votes in percentage terms is 65% minus 35%, that is 30%. That means 30% is equivalent to 2748. So 100% equivalent to how much? 100% means the total number of votes cast. So 30% of total votes cast is 2748. So 100% would give me 2748 into 100 by 30, and that again comes out to 9160. This saves us from taking the values of x or y or whatever variables. One more problem. So if boys are 65% in the class, again, when we have that boys are 65% in the class, that means the girls are 35%. So we know that girls percentage in the class is 35% and the number of girls is also given as 28. So we have to find out number of boys exceeds number of girls by. That means we have to find out difference in number of boys and girls. We don't have to find number of boys only. So again, so if I say the boys are 65% of X, so girls are 35% of X, which is 28, that gives me X as 80. And once I get the total number of students in the class, I can find now number of boys as 65% of 80, which is 52. So please observe at this stage that one of the options also is given as 52 because students might feel that that is the answer, that number of boys is being asked, but that is not the question. Number of boys is 52 and number of girls is 28. So boys exceeds girls by how many? Boys minus girls, that means 52 minus 28, and that is 24. And that is the answer. Alternatively, if I deal purely with percentages, so what do I get? Difference of boys and girls percentage value is 65% minus 35%, which is how much? So 65% minus 35% is 30%. Now we see that 35%, which is number of girls, is equivalent to 28. We don't need to find out total number of students in the class. I repeat, 35% is equivalent to 28. Now boys minus girls is 30% because that's 65% minus 35%. So 30% is equivalent to how much? 30% will be how much? 30% will be equal to 28 into 30 by 35. See it again, 35% is equivalent to 28. So the question is 30% is equal to how much? So by unitary method, I can say 30% will be equal to 28 into 30 by 35. And that is again giving me 24. Okay, so I hope you have understood this method. One more question based on elections. So this has some more data given to us. Please go through this question once. Now in these kind of questions, I would suggest you take the total number of people as, let's say, 100. And whatever they have given, work it out accordingly. So if we are given that 70% of the people who polled said that they would vote for Mr. X, that means 70 people. If there are total 100 people, 70 people would did say that they would vote for X. And that means 30 people said that they would not vote for X. The next sentence is, of those who said that, means of these 70 people, 60% actually voted for X. It doesn't mean 60 people voted for X. It means 60% of 70. So 60% of 70 comes out to 42. That means 42 people said that they will vote for X. In fact, they actually voted for X. And of those who did not say they would vote for Mr. X, so how many were they? That is 30. Out of those 30, 70% actually voted for X. It means 70% of 30, which is 21. So finally, how many voted for X? Actually voted for X. 42 from above and 21 from there. That means total is 42 plus 21, which is 63. So we can say in all, out of total 100 people, finally 63 people actually voted for X. So required percentage is obviously 63%. Thank you for watching this video. In case you have any queries regarding this video, you can always approach me on the mentioned email ID. Alternatively, you can also send the comments in the comment box.